Well, there's some startling new information about where your tax money goes exactly.
Are you sitting down? You should be. A new study showing the government redistributed more than $2 trillion in 1 year from the top 40% earners to the bottom 60% just last year alone.
They don't let me read numbers after that cold open. And that redistribution is not exactly fair. Here now to comment is Charles Payne from the Fox Business Network. Charles, your reaction?
Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm glad these numbers are coming out. We need to put numbers behind, in front of the rhetoric. In other words, you're not paying your fair share. We just saw here in New York City, Bill de Blasio run on that sort of a platform that somehow...
And won by a lot.
By a lot. That somehow rich people are sucking up all the benefits of America. That the U.S. military goes out there and they fight, and only the rich people's benefit from it. Or the roads are so fantastic, but they haven't paid their fair share. Well, this report shows from the Tax Policy Institute that they, if you take the top 40% of taxpayers, essentially what's happened is that their tax money has been redistributed. The bottom 20%, just to give you an example, for every $1 they pay, they got $5.28 in benefits.
For every $1 they pay,
right,
they get $5.28
back.
And
the middle, for every buck they paid, they got $1.48. But here's the thing: the top 20% got back a quarter.
For every dollar.
For every dollar. Oh, and that infamous, mean-spirited, that 1%ers who keep sucking up all of the money, they got back 6 cents. For every dollar that they paid in taxes, they got back 6 cents in benefits. And even this report, to be quite frank with you, I don't think takes into account the real world. In other words, how often are the police called? How often is the fire department called? How often are social services called? So we've got to be able to figure this out, guys, because this route that we're on is unsustainable.
What's the motivation to work then if you know that what you're putting in is really nothing coming back your way in terms of what you're benefiting?
That's why it's unsustainable. On one end, we continue to reward mediocrity. We continue to somehow tell people, hey, if you didn't do great in school, it's not your fault. If you dropped out of school, it's not your fault.
Can't get a job, it's not your fault.
If you can't get a job, it's not your fault. But that overachiever, that mean-spirited, greedy overachiever, we're going to find a way to suck more money out of that person. So now you're de-incentivized achievement, and you incentivize underachievement.
But, Charles, here's why I feel good about this. It can't go on forever. There's an end to this because the money doesn't add up. The balance sheet's never going to add up. There's going to be a backlash in this, isn't there?
You would hope so.
Maybe.
With the American DNA, you would hope that would kick in. But it could either be a backlash or we could become France. And I'm being very serious about this. Right now, what we're seeing in this country is a move, for instance, to a higher minimum wage. What's behind that? In this welfare society that we've created, we can't tax enough. So what they're trying to do is get corporations to sort of become a de facto payer of the welfare system. When you hear someone say, well, if you take all the minimum wage workers, they get about $4 or $5 billion in benefits.
Right.
Guess what? They also make $46 billion in salaries. So, it's unsustainable, true, but doesn't mean we have to go back to our roots.
3 hours from right now over on Fox Business, this man is going to be hosting the Varney & Company today.
We've been rocking.
Payne & Company. Payne & People.
Okay.
All right, Charles, thank
you.
you.
See you later.
Charles,
Thanks, Charles.
thank you.